Have you ever done a search on YouTube for the Insta 360 Go 2? Now, when I got this box delivered, I ordered it online. It was actually an eBay retailer here in Australia. I opened up the box and I didn't know what to expect, right? Because I've seen all the videos and I thought, okay, I know it's little, I know it's this and it's that. But then when I opened it, I was shocked that it's actually little. And it's actually littler or smaller than I initially thought. So what I didn't want to do today is take you through a full review because I haven't had a chance to really play with it. But I wanted to give you my initial impression and what I think of it as a reasonably tech-savvy user, someone that loves gadgets and uses cameras a lot to film their family, I guess, celebrations and just day-to-day life. Something that I can treasure for a long time. And when I received it and I opened it, I nearly fell off my chair. I mean, you've seen how small they are. And it's tiny. I mean, this here is the Insta 360 Go 2. This here is my AirPod Pros. You seeing this? It is tiny. Now, where it gets even more exciting is that once you open it up, you really get to see how small it is. A little bit fiddly to take it out. And that's the actual camera. I mean, that's phenomenal. How little is this thing? It's like a little tablet of some sort. Hiding my face because the camera's trying to focus on a big sash here, but anyway, it is tiny. Oh, my case is low power. Well, that explained it because I haven't used it. Now, I lie, I did use it briefly. What got me going straight away with this camera is that we had a quick little camping trip. And I thought, you know what? I want to get a few accessories so I can just give it a quick try and then I'll give it a good test run on my holiday. And when I say a quick try, well, that's where things got out of hand. Because I went out to JB Hi-Fi and purchased the mounting adapters, the whole bundle. I purchased the Insta 360 selfie stick, which is quite decent and very long, right? Who doesn't want a good selfie stick these days? And I got the carry case. Now, what I really liked about this particular carry case is that everything is divided for the camera. So as you can see here, everything has its little place. Oh, look at this. There's a little slot for the camera. Hello. And on it went. And on the other side, you've got the rest of the accessories. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about the accessories, about the adapters, because like I said, there are plenty of videos out there and I don't want to sort of go into this discussion. But let's just say that I wanted to have an adapter that I can use for my selfie stick. I can have an adapter which I can use on my GoPro mounts, because I will be taking my GoPro around as well. And I even went and purchased a little silicone protector. I figured, you know, I've spent $440 odd on this camera, which I really didn't need it. I mean, yes, I did need it. And I wanted to protect it. So when I'm out and about, I don't have to worry about, you know, bumps and scratches and light drops. I mean, this thing is not designed to protect it from everything, but, sorry, I'm just trying to put it back on so you can have a little bit of a squeeze at it. And that's it there. That's the silicone case on the camera. You can still use the legs for the tripod. And there you go. So the protector is great. It blends with the camera. What I didn't like about it though is because the camera is white, and when you use the adapter, oops, I'm tapping the mic there. When you use the chest adapter where the camera sticks to your t-shirt, which you probably have seen that in other videos anyway, the camera really stands out. So I did stick it on, and I was walking around, and it looks like you've got, I don't know, something like a camera stuck on your chest and you're recording, and it really stood out. So what I did is did some research and found out that you can actually buy, how cool is this? And I've never actually tried it because I did receive it recently, a little black silicone sleeve. And with this particular silicone sleeve, you chuck the camera in there. Now, unfortunately, you won't fit back into its case here, and it disguises it a little bit. Now, I'm not talking about being a creep and having this camera hidden so I can record whatnot. It's more around being a little bit more, I guess, disguised. So if I'm recording, I don't have to show the world that I'm recording and walk around like a creep. But there you go. That's with the case on it now. The silicone, and as you can see, it's quite nice, and it fits like a snug in a bug. Unfortunately, you can't put it back in the case to charge and so forth. But my point is that I did manage to find something that's going to deliver what I wanted to do, which was be a little bit more, I guess, hidden. I've got to stop saying guess, don't I? A little bit more hidden and out of sight, out of mind, but also still capturing that the image or whatever I'm trying to get out there. So sometimes the idea behind this camera was that, you know, if we're on a family holiday, I can put on a stick, you know, the GoPro stick perhaps, or if it's Insta360 selfie stick or whatever the case may be on its mount, and I can capture the information. I can capture, you know, my kids, my family, my holiday, but without being absorbed into the capturing. So I'll give you an example. One thing that I dislike is taking too many photos and videos with their mobile phones, because A, they tend to live on the mobile phone and they get backed up in a cloud somewhere, and you don't really get to see it often unless you're searching for it, okay? And then you may change your phone, and where's all the image and video stored? Either in the cloud somewhere or on your old phone, and you have to dig through it and find it. So what my preference is to get the footage of whatever I'm trying to record so I can remember it and have a, you know, memory that, you know, my grandkids can watch one day, is to then be able to take the footage away. And I know you can with the smartphones too, don't get me wrong, and then store it somewhere. But if I'm constantly doing this and, you know, recording and taking photos, well, I become really absorbed into my device and I'm missing the world as it's going past me. I'm not actually paying attention to what's happening. So the idea behind getting this Insta360 Go 2, it's a mouthful, was to be able to then use either the chest mount that comes with it, or this little perhaps lanyard that came with the black silicone cover, is you can put it on yourself, press record, and you go on with your whatever it is that you're doing, right? So I'm not really sitting there focusing, trying to frame a shot. It's capturing everything in front of me. And then after that, I can edit it and do whatever I want with it, and then save it as a file and put it in a hard drive and whatnot. So that was the reason behind purchasing this, in addition to my GoPro that I'll be doing a first look at as well, which was the Hero 9, not the 10, the Hero 9. But I wanted to have a couple of little options. Now, I know that my biggest concern, and I don't know what it's like for everyone else out there, was the lack of storage. It's 32 gig of storage on this camera, and it won't take long for you to fill it up. And then my second question was, well, okay, I filled up the 32 gig, you know, big deal. I just copy it across to my mobile phone, and then I can empty the storage back on the device. But if you've got an iPhone or a Samsung or whatever smartphone you've got that has low storage on it, say 64 gig, well, that's going to fill up very quickly. Okay, so then what do you do? And, you know, because I haven't used this camera very long at all, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it, but I've got some contingency plans there. Once it fills up, I will back it up to my laptop. I'll put it back on my Mac. I'll download the file and then delete the storage on the device itself. And then I move on. So that's my strategy around my holidays and whatnot. If I can't, no problem. I'll copy it across to my phone. But then when I get back and I have access to my laptop, I'll move it back off my phone to clear the storage and copy it on the hard drive. So there's a little bit more fiddly work involved, and I really, really wish that Insta360 did provide an option to, you know, put in a micro SD card in it. I mean, how easy would that be? Now, in my mind, I didn't design these. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of work that's gone in there to get it to that size. But how big is a micro SD card? It's tiny. If there was just a slot to chuck that in there, you're laughing. You're laughing. This thing could be my primary camera for a lot of events and recordings. But because of that, it becomes more of a B-roll camera. It becomes more of a backup camera because, you know, the reviews out there say that the audio is not the greatest. I can't speak from experience but one thing I can tell you is, from the time that I used it, which wasn't too long, maybe let's just have spent, you know, a total of half an hour to an hour playing with it. So this is more of a first impressions, like I mentioned earlier. It's bloody fantastic. I mean, I did have perfect, well, perhaps it wasn't perfect lighting conditions. It was a very hot, sunny day, you know, 12 o'clock, midday, I was actually up in Yarrawonga here in Vic, and I literally put on the little adapter here that if you can see it, which clips onto your hat. Now, I didn't want to clip it onto my hat because the kid said that I looked ridiculous and I was an embarrassment and all the rest of that stuff. So what I did do is I had a cross bag, like a shoulder bag, and I clipped this little adapter on the strap and I chucked the camera on it. I pressed record and let it do its thing. And there was a large group of us and we're taking photos and videos and by the water and whatnot, and I'll let this thing do its thing. Anyway, stopped recording, went back to our caravan, and I had a quick look at the footage and I was blown away of how crystal clear it was. I mean, it isn't 4K. It's only, I think it's 2. What is it? Anyway, oh, there we go. It's 1440p at 50 frames per second. But it looked really, really clear. It looked really, really good. And when everyone else saw the little video that I did, so through the Insta360 Go 2 app on my phone, I uploaded the footage just so I can try it. I did some basic, or pretty much automatic editing, right, that it comes with. And he popped out this lovely video and audio and background music with all of us, you know, playing and whatnot, running around the grass, and the kids were jumping everywhere. And it was just so good. And it was so good that I still had my coffee in my hand. I had whatever I had in my other hand, and I was still part of the excitement. I was still part of the family time and the discussions. At the same time, the camera was doing its own bit and recording. So this is the bit that I like about this camera, and this is why I got it. And in my head, when I go on my next trip and I'm going through the airport, I love to just mount it on there we go, I've hit the mic again, apologies. Mount it on my chest or hat or somewhere on my bag, and just really let it do its thing and record the experience and really show you the POV of what's happening and what I'm seeing. And I think that's something that's really great, because otherwise I'd have to walk around with my mirrorless camera here right in front of me like this and walking through bits and pieces, and it stands out like, you know what, that you've got a camera in your hand. Whereas this really just records it. Now, I don't know what it's going to be like in low light. Could be good, could be bad. And I might even do a review post my usage. But again, there are lots of videos out there, and you probably didn't come to watch this video if you wanted me to go into detail around how great it is or how not great it is. But this is a first impression for someone that was really excited to buy something different. I saw a lot of YouTubers and big name YouTubers out there using this across the globe. And see what I've just done there? I've actually grabbed my AirPods. What a doofus. Using this camera as opposed to my AirPods. There's the Insta360 Go 2, the genuine case. I think that set me back about 25 bucks online. You chuck in all your cables and all the bits and pieces in it, which is where this little chest mount lives that I'm trying to get unstuck because it's metal sticking to it, because it is magnetic. Yep, goes in there. It's lovely. There's the noisy selfie stick. Now really, I didn't need to buy this. I've got plenty of other selfie sticks, but you know what? It looked pretty cool. So it went into the must-have part of my brain. And these are the accessories that come, that I purchased. Now this one came with the unit, so did this one. I did purchase, and the hat clamp, I did purchase this one here separately. This one here that mounts to the tripod. And this one here, that's more of a GoPro action mount as well. So the good thing with this one here is that when you take it out, this thing is so hot. I don't know what its problem is. Yeah. It does have the magnetic locking system on it. I'm going to charge this and see why it's getting so hot. And what I don't understand is it's getting hot, but yet it's not recording. I don't know, maybe it's recording. Is it? I can't tell because it says case low power. Right. It gets hot. It gets really, really hot. If you're using it, even especially if it's out of the case, it gets really, really hot when you're recording. But for some reason now, it's also getting hot, and I can't tell if it's recording or not because I did feel the vibration. So it does have a little button here when it's out, and if you press it, it gives you a bit of a vibration to say that it's recording, and I felt it before, so maybe it's recording, but there's no light flashing. Then again, if I've just closed it, it probably shouldn't record. Whatever. It does get hot. You know, long term, is that going to have an impact? I have no idea. But I will let you know once I've had a really, really good play with it. I've had a good play with the app. It comes with a nice app. It's intuitive. It does give you automated bits and pieces that it can put together. It also gives you the option to manually edit things. It's got different recording modes. I did do a couple of time-lapse and hyperlapses with it, and they were phenomenal. I actually did one in a dark area, and I let it record for, I reckon a good 15 to 20 minutes. And the picture was a very colourful environment. It was a show, and it was just crystal clear, considering that I recorded in the dark. And yeah, I let it sit on its little cute tripod legs, which were very convenient because I didn't have to bring in extra equipment. So it literally sat on the floor like this and recorded the time lapse. Very impressive, if I may say so myself. And the fact that I can just grab it and do a magic trick and abracadabra and it's gone, right? It is so small. It is so small that I can't believe there's even a camera in there, which is why I got sucked into buying it. I wish Insta360 gave me one like they gave every other YouTuber, so then I don't have to pay for one. But you know what? it is what it is. I paid for it and I'll give you my honest opinion once I've had a good play with it. But on first instance, I love the size, I love the quality, I love the features. It gets a bit hot. The tripod leg's a little bit flimsy so far. I love the fact that there are a lot of aftermarket accessories available online now, because it is a bit of a popular beast. I'm just trying to get the silicone cover to fit in, because it does have a microphone at the back that it's covering, so if I forget to do it later and I'm recording something, it's going to sound like crappadoodles. Yeah, I probably didn't have to invest so much money into all the additional accessories, but you know what? That's what Sash does, right? Buys things that make him happy, buys things that make his life easier, and I don't want to miss out, right? So I want to have all the goodies that come with it. Thank you for watching once again. My name is Sash at ST Reviews. I appreciate you tuning in and clicking my thumbnail. I hope you got some helpful insights on this little camera, and if not, thanks for your time regardless. Take care and brush your hair. Goodbye.